Do you think you've known everything about America's most exemplary family? Look closely at the smile of Grandpa Zebulon, the man who was once blacklisted and ruthlessly banned by the government. Behind the warm facade of Walton's mountain are secrets buried deep, from alcoholism and the tragedy of losing a child to the strange illnesses that devastated the cast. Welcome to the naked truth behind the Walton family in 2026. John Boy. He was the voice that guided the Walton family through their darkest days. But few viewers knew that, in real life, the world of sound for John Boy was slowly collapsing. Richard Thomas was the literary soul of the Waltons. Taking the role at age 21, he perfectly portrayed the aspiration to rise above poverty. His authentic, sensitive acting style earned him a prestigious Emmy Award. American audiences immediately viewed him as a symbol of hope. He transformed the character of John Boy into an immortal legacy of 1970s popular culture. Behind the brilliant glow were two silent battles. The image of America's golden boy quickly became an invisible, suffocating cage, so intense that it forced him to leave the show at the height of season 5 to reclaim his freedom. But the greatest tragedy struck at age 30. He received a diagnosis of otosclerosis. The ruthless disease permanently robbed him of 50% of his hearing. For an actor, losing the ability to listen to the script and co-stars was nothing short of a death sentence. Yet, he did not surrender. He quietly wore hearing aids, hid his impairment, and continued to stand firm on Broadway stages for the past 50 years. John Boy brought home an Emmy trophy in his 20s, but his true strength lies in the resilient journey of overcoming his own massive shadow. John Sr. Millions of viewers once yearned for a father as steady as John Walton Sr. The most painful truth is, the man who provided that sense of security had just personally buried his own 9-year-old daughter. Ralph Waite sculpted a television monument with a rare calmness. His broad shoulders and deep, warm voice immediately became an anchor for an entire generation of 1970s viewers. America saw in him the essence of a resilient pillar, ready to shoulder every storm of the Great Depression. Waite's real life was once a deep pit of despair. Right before setting foot on Walton's mountain, he lost his little angel forever to leukemia. This heart-wrenching shock pushed the miserable man deep into alcohol to escape the cruel reality. He once loathed himself and spiraled into self-destruction every night. Every tear, every hug he gave the child actors on set was, in truth, the stifled sob of a bleeding heart. He breathed his last breath on February 13, 2014, in Palm Desert, California, at the age of 85, due to acute heart failure. John Walton was not just a role. It was the way a broken father healed the wound of losing a child to teach America how to love again. Olivia. America honored her as a sacred icon of motherhood. No one suspected that this perfect mother hid bottles of bourbon right on the set just to be able to smile in front of the camera. Entering the project at age 33, Michael Learned breathed life into the character of Olivia with absolute delicacy. She represented the self-sacrifice and inner strength of women during the Depression era. 3 prestigious Emmy statues are a testament to that outstanding talent. The actress quickly redefined the gold standard of motherhood on television. In complete contrast to the puritanical facade on screen, the star's soul in real life was shattering. Alcoholism gradually suffocated Learned's life. She once bitterly admitted to filming while in an intoxicated state. The massive pressure from the title National Mother nearly swallowed her whole. However, Learned refused to collapse. She fiercely faced the black hole of addiction, successfully recovered, and turned her own wounds into a torch to light the way for those in similar situations. She held millions of children in her arms through the small screen, while she herself had to struggle to emerge from the darkness of intoxication. Grandpa Zeb. The kind smile of Grandpa Zeb was once a symbol of peace for an entire nation. However, few know that the American government once considered that smile a threat and ruthlessly stripped away his entire livelihood for nearly 2 decades. Will Geer breathed a fresh soul into the Walton Mountains. He molded Zebulon with wisdom, humor, and an endless love for nature. Audiences of all generations found a sense of comfort seeing him sitting leisurely on the porch bench. In the 1950s, tragedy struck when he was placed on the Hollywood blacklist for refusing to testify before the House Un-American Activities Committee, HUAC. From a rising star, he was thoroughly boycotted, forced to garden and sell seedlings to support his family day by day. It took nearly 20 years of patience before he made the most glorious comeback in television history. Unfortunately, that joy was all too brief. Will Geer passed away suddenly from respiratory failure on April 22, 1978, in Los Angeles, at the age of 76, shortly after finishing his final scenes for that season. Grandma Esther. The absolute authority of Grandmother Esther was the moral backbone for the entire series. However, fate cruelly stripped away her most powerful weapon of deterrence, her voice. Ellen Corby delivered a transcendent performance, molding a woman with a prickly exterior who possessed an infinitely tolerant heart. Her sharp gazes and affectionate reprimands won over millions of viewers, earning her 3 prestigious Emmy statues and a previous Oscar nomination. The shadow of death descended in late 1976 when a massive stroke collapsed Ellen at her home, leaving her hemiplegic and suffering from severe aphasia. All predictions at the time insisted that her career had permanently closed. Refusing to surrender to fate, she gritted her teeth through a series of physically torturous physical therapy sessions to make a shocking comeback 1 year later. Ellen Corby breathed her last breath on April 14, 1999, in Los Angeles, at the age of 87 due to prolonged complications from the stroke and old age. Mary Ellen. All of America once saw her as the most obedient, darling daughter. No one suspected that the craving to shed that facade would push the actress into a decision that sent shockwaves through the entire media world. Judy Norton brought to life a Mary Ellen, overflowing with youthful energy. From a stubborn tomboy, the character gradually transformed into a courageous nurse. The role immediately inspired a generation of contemporary young women to rise up and assert themselves. Her personality and sincerity always shone brightly through every episode. Growing up under public scrutiny, however, was a stifling psychological prison. When the series concluded, the label of virtuous maiden tightly bound Norton's career. Directors continuously refused to give her edgy or mature scripts. Backed into a corner, she chose the most radical form of rebellion. In August 1985, Norton suddenly bared it all in the pages of Playboy magazine. This event immediately ignited a whirlwind of outrage. Countless conservative viewers turned their backs and hurled bitter words, claiming she had tainted the pure memory of the Walton family. Jason. The sound of third son. Jason's guitar once soothed countless broken hearts. The truth is, that actor quietly discarded the Hollywood glow entirely to choose a life of anonymity. John Walmsley turned music into the soul of the Walton family. He used his own innate talent to breathe life into the character. Every note that rose amidst the darkness of the Great Depression warmed millions of American families. Audiences immediately found intense hope through his shy smile. Peak fame, however, brought a sense of ultimate suffocation. When the series ended, the label of a television star weighed heavily on Walmsley's shoulders. Loathing the noise of showbiz, he made a cold decision. He decisively turned his back on the camera lens. The young man withdrew, embracing his guitar and retreating deep into the shadows of the wings. He accepted being an anonymous session musician for other superstars. No red carpets, no interviews. That resolute disappearance was the only way for him to keep his love for music from being wrung dry by Hollywood. Erin audiences once fell in love with the radiant beauty of the second daughter, Erin. However, the pressure to maintain that perfect look pushed the actress into a surgery that nearly claimed her life. Mary Beth McDonough brilliantly portrayed the character's journey of maturity. She fully captured the transformation from a timid little girl into a resilient young woman. her pursed lips and determined gaze became a spiritual anchor for countless female viewers of the time. The generation of youth in the 70s grew up alongside the heartbeat of Erin. Puberty exposed before the camera lens brought with it a fierce cruelty. Malicious criticisms of her physique from the media suffocated McDonough's confidence. Desiring to meet harsh standards, she decided to undergo breast implantation. Tragedy struck immediately. The silicone shells leaked, pumping toxins directly into her blood. She collapsed under severe joint pain and was diagnosed with an autoimmune syndrome similar to lupus. Her body's daily exhaustion forced her to make a bold decision. The actress bravely went onto the operating table to remove the foreign objects. From the depths of ultimate physical pain, she rose to become a powerful voice protecting women from toxic standards. Ben. Audiences always remember the playful smile of the stubborn young man Ben. Few know that this smile once completely shattered when his life partner was taken by a fatal illness. Eric Scott brilliantly portrayed the portrait of the mischievous yet ambitious fourth son. Every determined gaze and reckless entrepreneurial venture on screen captivated millions of viewers. The 70s saw in him the fire of resilient youth, never surrendering to poverty. Tragedy struck at the exact moment he had just touched the happiness of fatherhood. His first wife, Teresa, received a devastating diagnosis of leukemia. She breathed her last breath shortly after giving birth to their first daughter. Eric's sky collapsed. Pushed against a wall, he discarded all acting fame. The widowed father decisively withdrew from showbiz to personally raise his only child. He wiped away his tears and poured all his capital into founding a transport services company. The resounding success in the business world today is the sweet fruit of the actor's extraordinary will to survive. Jim Bob. Youngest son. Jim Bob always appeared dreamy among his airplanes. The bitter reality was that, when the cameras turned off, David W. Harper was completely lost in a world without a script and had to struggle through all sorts of jobs to survive. David brought the most innocent and pure acting style to the Walton family. Jim Bob's curiosity and passion for mechanics created gentle, warm moments amidst a volatile era. American audiences gave special affection to the coming-of-age journey of this little youngest brother for an entire decade. The fading spotlight left behind a vast void. Unlike his siblings, David faced extreme difficulty in finding new roles after the series ended. The young actor fell into a state of solitude and a severe identity crisis. To earn a living, he was forced to take on heavy manual labor, from warehouse worker to repairman. There were periods when people saw the once illustrious child star quietly working at art galleries, living a reclusive life, and completely detached from the bustle of the entertainment world. He chose to remain silent in the face of all interview invitations, keeping private the wounds of a career frozen too early. Elizabeth. Elizabeth was the smallest heart of the Walton family, but few know that this little girl bravely turned down a luxury ticket to remain in the film capital of Hollywood. Kami Cotler joined the film when she was only 6 years old. Through her crystal-clear eyes and childhood voice, she grew up alongside millions of American viewers through every season. Elizabeth was not just a character. She was a symbol of purity and hope, reminding every family that even if the world collapses, love will still bloom. When the spotlights faded during her teenage years, Kami stood at a fateful crossroads. Instead of wringing out the last bits of remaining fame to chase after faint roles, she made a surprising decision: to withdraw completely. She moved away from the glamour of Los Angeles to a poor rural area in Virginia, a place truly like the Waltons mountain in the film, to begin a career in teaching. She accepted an ordinary life, serving as a teacher and later a principal, finding her self-worth in textbook pages instead of glamorous but hollow script pages. The once innocent youngest sister completely abandoned the glory to find the true meaning of life, proving that sometimes happiness does not lie in being cheered by the whole world, but in living true to one's own self. Ike Godsey. The grocery store owner Ike Godsey was the soul that connected the entire Walton Mountain community. But few know that the man who always listened to others' secrets ended his life's journey in a silent battle with the shadows of memory. Joe Conley transformed a supporting role into an irreplaceable icon. With a gentle smile and sharp eyes, he perfectly portrayed the neighbor that anyone would want to trust. The warmth of Ike Godsey was the glue that bound neighborhood ties during the crisis, turning a small grocery store into a peaceful haven for every lost soul. Behind a brilliant career and success in the real estate sector, Joe faced an invisible and ruthless enemy: dementia. In his final years, the man who once memorized thousands of script lines and the faces of countless co-stars began to lose his very own memories. He passed away on July 7th, 2013, at a special care facility in Newbury Park, California, at the age of 85. The cause of death was determined to be complications from this persistent memory loss disease. As night falls on Walton's Mountain, have these stars truly found peace, or are they still silently mending their shattered lives behind the glow of fame? Time may erase footprints, but their pain and extraordinary resilience will forever be a part of cinematic history. In your opinion, who had the most heartbreaking conclusion?